Hey everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of the second reproduction, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Are you alright? Gardis? That doesn't sound like a very villainous thing to say. Indeed it doesn't. But judging by what just happened here, there's no need for me to act like that, is there? Ha! And now I'm already regretting it. The color of the stone pavement was the same as Gardis' eyes. I came to the realization that I liked that color, and that made me feel even happier. Aww, she's falling in love with him. Ooh, pretty. Gardis had gone to deal with the aftermath of the incident, while Lisette and I decided to check the rest of the city. Having gone our separate ways, I went to the church in the middle of the city. It was a building that stood out amongst Glade's architecture, which is probably why Gardis chose it as our meeting place. In all honesty, when he told us that, I really wanted to ask, did you choose the church on purpose? I had nothing to pray for here. I no longer had faith in my religion. But even so, I still wanted to ask the divine bird Lame for redemption. How pitiful of me. I'm sure no god would save a human like me. Redemption cannot be given by others. Gardis? Now that everything had calmed down, I felt really awkward around Gardis. After everything I'd said about his race, how could I face him now? And now that I've given up on killing the Demon Lord, I had effectively betrayed my kingdom. I had betrayed my own mother's trust, and that made my chest hurt. But even if I'm hurting Mother, there's no way I can kill Gardis now. There's no justice in killing others anymore. Ah, justice, huh? As I murmured that word in my heart over and over, a smile of self-ridicule floated onto my face. Christina? Seriously, when did we humans become such an evil race? Myself included, we pretend we're not sowing evil, but a form of justice. We're all lying to ourselves to keep our conscience clear. We're ridiculous, utterly hideous. You must have thought that all along, right? No one in this world is perfect. Everyone seeks someone to degrade and accuse, so that they themselves can be put at peace. It isn't something that only humans do. Was he trying to comfort me? Or was he just stating a theory he knew? It was probably the former. How unlike him. I smiled weakly at the thought. Well, what do you plan on doing now? If you don't kill me, you can't return to your kingdom, can you? I don't know what to do myself, in all honesty, but one thing's for sure. Killing you would definitely not make me feel better. I suppose. As Gardis made a complicated expression and closed his eyes, a thought ran through my mind. By choosing a church as a meeting place, was Gardis trying to comfort me in his own way? From now on, whatever lay in wait for me was undoubtedly a future where I could neither turn back or go forward. So tomorrow's a day off in the Demon Kingdom, huh? Should go to sleep. Okay. Holiday night. Okay, what should I do tonight? Ask someone out to play, go out. We're gonna ask someone out to play. We're gonna ask Gardis out to play. Because he's our only option. So, where do you want to go? Anywhere's fine, so long as you're alone with me. Ooh, we should leave the room first. Such a shame. Okay, so let's go to the pub because everybody likes to drink. Oh, that's right. I wonder if I have something Gardis might like. Give him a present, just talk. Nah, let's just talk to him. The wine here is really nice. But is it good enough for you, Gardis? I mean, as a king, you're probably used to drinking much better stuff than this. I was about to ask the same, My Royal Highness. Why bring me here? I've hated the taste of luxury food ever since I was little. I actually prefer the taste of rough, rural pub food to the things that we had at the castle. That's why I'd sometimes disguise myself and sneak out into the streets. But Lisette would always find out, and he'd tell me off. What a strange princess. So, your thoughts on the wine here? It's wonderful. Where's it from? It's Glade's wine, one of Deathride's most excellent beverages. We're very proud of it, to say the least. So you like it too? I do. I've sampled many kinds of wine over the years, but this one remains my favorite. I see. I'll treat you next time. Is it expensive? Let's treat him next time. That would put me in a tight spot. It would? Why? Drinking a present from you would be a huge waste. Oh, then I'll drink it with you. Just the two of us? Yeah, it's more fun to drink that way, don't you think? Then I'd be sure to get far drunker than usual, though your beauty intoxicates me enough to begin with. Idiot! Don't say that in a place like this. Oh, are you already drunk? Your cheeks have gone red. One more word and I'll punch you. Haha, you're adorable. Let's see. Let's go to... let's go to the toy shop. That sounds like fun. Wow, such a shame. Apparently the shop owner was killed in the Lunaria Festival incident the other day. And there's no one to take over the shop for him. What a pity. Oh. That's sad. I looked at the city from my window and let out a small sigh. Did things look different depending on your mood? When I first came here, the city felt so dark and ominous, but now it looked beautiful and grand. It was approaching dinner time, and smoke was floating out of the chimneys around the residential areas. Every single one of those roofs had someone living underneath, living their daily life in peace. For some reason, that thought made me happy. As I continued to enjoy the view, I heard someone knock at my door. Curious, I turned around. I asked them to come in, expecting it to be Kyria, but... Excuse me, Your Highness?
あなたは
It was a woman I'd never seen before. Was Kyria too busy to come today? Maybe she'd asked someone to replace her without telling me. The woman had her head bowed and wore a thick hood, looking utterly unlike anyone I'd seen in the castle. Feeling somewhat suspicious, I got up and approached her. Your Highness, I have brought a letter from Our Majesty.
もしやお前は
Please, keep your voice down, Your Highness. I came alone, and I would like to avoid any meaningless bloodshed.
暗殺に失敗した私を
No, my purpose is to deliver this.
これ
I took the envelope from the woman and looked up, intending to ask her what was inside, but the woman had already vanished. She really had been ordered just to deliver a letter. Bewildered, I nervously cut the seal and slipped out its contents. Each page was covered with familiar handwriting. To my beloved daughter, Christina. Yes, this was Mother's handwriting without a doubt. My heart thumped in anticipation and unease, mixing in my chest. No matter how severe my mother's words will be, I'll keep reading and accept them without complaint. With that thought in mind, I gulped and began to read.
親愛なる娘
To my beloved daughter Christina. Ever since you began your journey over 4 months ago, not a day has passed without your absence passing in my mind, and I am constantly reminded of just how much I miss you. After I received word of your imprisonment, I found myself sick with worry. I fear you must be suffering dearly.
母様
I hadn't seen my mother's handwriting in a long time. It touched my heart and warmed my chest. But at the same time it made me feel guilty, reminding me of my failure. I didn't want to kill Gardis anymore, but I didn't want to go against my duty either. I was caught between a rock and a hard place, as though I was suffocating. I wondered if the whole letter was going to be about Mother's laments. But when I turned to the next page, my body froze, as though a bucket of cold water had been tipped over me.
だが
With a trembling voice, I continued to read Mother's handwriting. However, as the Queen, I must order you. If you have any pride remaining as a daughter of the royal family, please die with honor rather than live in humiliation. I was only halfway through, but the letter fell from my frozen hands. My mother had just told me to end my life. She hadn't mentioned any reason specifically, but I understood why she asked. If I was used as a hostage, when the Alliance army attacked, things would go from bad to worse. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that was quite popular with the subjects of Almanan, and with subjects of other countries too, thanks to my campaigns against demon kings far away from my own. If Mother had to abandon me and go ahead with the attack, her reputation around the world would plummet. So in her eyes, I was better off dead than a prisoner. Announcing that our princess risked her life for the sake of the world, but tragically fell into the hands of the Demon Lord, would surely rouse up enough morale to give Almanan and its allies a huge boost when they went to war.
母様
Maybe somewhere deep inside me, I knew a day like this would come. A day when my mother would abandon me for a greater good. But now that it's finally come, it was far more painful than I'd ever imagined. I felt as if my heart had been shattered. I'd clinged to my mother's love far more than I realized, and the tears wouldn't stop rolling down my cheeks. A light breeze drifted into the room, making my hair flutter. With empty eyes, I looked towards the window. With trembling legs, I mindlessly began to walk towards the window, my mind barely registering anything.
私は帰る国をなくしてしまったのだな
The night wind felt cold against my tear-stained cheeks. I could see little spots of bright light from the streets below. They glittered as if inviting me, so I lifted my leg over the windowsill.
何をしている
I quickly turned around, startled, but before I could react, Gardis grabbed my wrist. I struggled madly, trying to break free from his grip.
止めるなもう皆やお前を殺すことはできないそのような気持ちを抱えたまま祖国に帰ることも許されはしないだから
落ち着けクリスティーナ
嫌だもうこうするしか私には残され
Oh.
勇者クリスティーナはその窓より身を投げて死んだのだ今ここにいるのはただの
ただの女
いやただの私の思い人だ
稚語は嫌いなのではなかったか
そう言わねば自らを抑制できなかった
Gardis looked into my wide-opened eyes with a resolute, unshaken gaze. He blinked once, twice, then snickered, placing his lips on mine once more. My mind froze from the shock, and I couldn't move. He gently pressed his lips against mine over and over, then whispered in a flirtatious voice.
あの日初めてお前の闘志に燃える瞳を見た時からこうして 腕の中に閉じ込めてしまいたいと思っていた。
そんな嘘。
嘘だと思うのならば、私の鼓動に聞いてみろ。
He didn't have to tell me that. Our bodies were pressed close together, and I could feel his racing heartbeat against mine. My lips were still burning from the kiss.
お前も私のことを憎からず思っているのであれば、どうか命を捨てないでほしい。生きてさえすれば、また違う光も見えてこよ
う。Now that he'd mentioned it, Gardis had been emphasizing the importance of life since day one. And he's striven to save as many of his people's lives as he could, at the risk of his own. Even if he had to kill a champion, he'd only do so when provoked. He was nothing like the bloodthirsty demon lords I'd always been told about. The more I knew about it, the more I couldn't accept it. Whenever I learned more about Gardis as a person, my doubt grew and grew.
わからないな。
う。何が？
そんな命の重みを知っているお前が、本当にクロフツを滅ぼしたのか？私にはどうしても、そう思えない。それに、里いお前が、一時の感情で自国を危険にさらすとも考えにくい。ガルディス、もしかしてお前は
それは買いかぶりというものだ。
ならば、本当にお前がやったと？お前も案外、嘘が下手な男だな。やっていないのならば、なぜそう言わない？
私はお前が考えているほど賢い男ではない。一時の感情に支配されたから、私は今もあの時にとらわれている。
あの時？ガルディス？
I spoke firmly, trying to decipher the meaning behind his words. But Gardis only replied with a smile and kissed me once again. My voice was cut off by Gardis's lips. His kiss dissolved my growing unease, stealing away my strength and drowning me in pleasure.
ガルディス。
But as I indulged in that sweet kiss, I had no idea that my unease turned out to be justified. Death Ride 5th month. And I'm going to end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.